Hello once again, this is Tall Tat Guy, and this will be a reading of an article that I wrote concerning events and things taking place in our country right now. The article is titled the same as the video, The Blue Dawn Scenario. Can you imagine one morning being awakened to a very loud banging on your door? You wake from your peaceful slumber, and when you open the door, you're greeted by full military dress personnel. Once you open the door, they inform you that the president has declared a state of emergency and enacted martial law. You are to hand over all legally registered weapons and any other weapons you may have. This would be a nightmare scenario which no American citizen wants to think about, let alone consider. What the American people seem to not realize or have the imagination to envision is that our government does nothing without a purpose. Our legislators and leaders have paved the way for just such an event to happen. In the last 2 decades, more so in the last 8 years, there have been the passage of laws and creation of organizations for this express purpose. There have been FEMA camps strategically placed all along our nation in preparation for national emergencies. Now, I do not live in a dark fear and hatred of my government. I live with a healthy fear of my government and its leaders simply by looking at their actions over the last few decades. Do the words Waco, Oklahoma City, Ruby Ridge, or 9/11 ring a bell? I could see no logical reason for the creation of any law that would allow for Americans to be placed in any type of containment camp or safe haven for any reason whatsoever, especially not under the pretext of their own protection. Americans appear to still be operating under the premise that your government would not do such a thing. Let's all remember New Orleans a few years ago. All those whom could not evacuate were told to gather at the Superdome where they would be protected and safe. Our government then proceeded to abandon them there for days. It could be said the reason they were abandoned was lack of communication and coordination on the part of the government and the state. I find a fallacy in that logic, considering we can move entire military units anywhere in the world in a day. No, the infrastructure is all there. The camps are built and ready for detainees to arrive at any time. There are now stationed in these United States an entire U.S. military division for the specific purpose of quelling civil unrest. No, I would say the nightmare is real and being readied for use. The laws are there. The troops are trained. The government is ready. They are just waiting for the next big event to initiate. If you have been unable to relate the title, The Blue Dawn Scenario, to the body of this text, let me explain. There was a movie called Red Dawn, in which Soviet forces were able to penetrate and land troops in half of our nation and begin a massive gun confiscation and armed occupation by force. The operation was conducted in the pre-dawn hours early one winter morning in the 1980s, hence the Red Dawn title. Now, the soldiers I speak of that will knock on your door early one morning will not be U.S. military troops. No, indeed, they will be wearing a blue beret or blue combat helmet. There will be multinational flags on his uniform with the United Nations emblem emblazoned on his sleeve. He cares not you're American and have rights. He is not American. He is German or British or many other nationalities. He will be indifferent to your rights because he operates beyond your Constitution. He will be here to establish order when the citizens stand up. He will be called a peacekeeper. So, beware the impending Blue Dawn. According to the laws and executive orders being signed and enforced, it will be Blue Dawn time in America soon, as it has been in so many nations before us. Thank you.